This is the OTB Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses, brought to you by Parting Glass Racing. I'm Jean Wood. We'll start things out down in Florida, where on Saturday, one of several stakes features was the Paunch for older horses going 6 furlongs. Let's head down to Calder and the running of the Paunch.
Waiting for Sincero. They're all in line. And they're off. The quartet broke as one. Big Drama showing speed. Rusty Charlie is fast from the inside. Big Drama's going to let Rusty Charlie go and get the lead. Big Drama now tracks in second, just a length off the pace. These two are clear of How's Your Halo, who's already 5 off the lead in third. And Sincero last of the 4, and already about 8 lengths off the lead. And they're going quickly up front. Rusty Charlie working a little bit harder to stay in front of the classy Big Drama. These two almost right together. They've opened up about 6 lengths now on How's Your Halo, who continues to race third. Sincero now with 10 lengths to make up and 3 furlongs to do it. The ambitious Rusty Charlie leading the classy Big Drama around the turn, but here comes Big Drama up to even terms, and Big Drama, without really being asked, goes up to stick his neck out in front. Rusty Charlie's going to have to dig down and find another gear from that second spot. These two remain well clear of How's Your Halo, and now Sincero is starting to uncoil from the back of the pack, but it's Big Drama going to work down to the final furlong. Big Drama off this long layoff, but he's gotten a lead now in mid-stretch, and he's opened it out to about 3.5 lengths. Rusty Charlie all out in second as Sincero's closing on him, but Big Drama's back to the winner's circle. He wins the Paunch handicap. Ended up very tight for place and show, either Sincero or Rusty Charlie.
Big Drama back off of his vacation, enforced by a problem that sent him to the sidelines after last year's King's Bishop, returns victorious 3 3/4 better of Sincero, with Rusty Charlie back in third. Big Drama draws clear as the heavy odds-on favorite. Big Drama is a 4-year-old son of Montbrook from Riveting Drama by Notebook, bred in Florida by Harold Queen and owned by the breeder, trained by David Fawkes and ridden to victory by Luis Saez. Big Drama covers the 6 furlongs in 110.74. We'll head next to the Mid-Atlantic, and we'll begin at Delaware Park with the Obeah Stakes for fillies and mares at 9 furlongs.
We're set. And they're off in the Obeah. Pretty good start for them all. Stage Trick down toward the inside, away well. Platinum in between horses. On the far outside, it's Tap Tam. Mindy Sue and Mismatch are also right there as they race toward the finish line the first time. It's Stage Trick showing the way by 3 parts over. A well-rated Platinum right on the outside. Mindy Sue's going to move up there 3 wide. Tap Tam on the far outside. Saving ground nicely, that's War Echo, followed by Mismatch. A 2-length gap further back as they make their way around the bend as Marino, who settles in nicely in that 7th spot, and Miss Sing Six will have to come from the back as they curl around the clubhouse turn, opening quarter in a solid 23 seconds flat. Stage Trick leads it by a length and 3/4. Platinum right there in second. 2 lengths further back to Mindy Sue toward the outside of War Echo. Length further back to Tap Tam. Mismatch is next in line, racing in 6th, followed by Marina. And continuing at the back, Miss Sing Six as they make their way down the Delaware backstretch. Opening half goes in 47 2, 5 furlongs to go on the front end. Stage Trick going to try and take them wire to wire. Leads it by 2 over Platinum. Length and a half further back. Marina's advanced nicely toward the inside under Rose. Advancing into third, going after that second spot. Mismatch between horses. Mindy Sue on the far outside. Tap Tam's going to be 4 wide. Then comes War Echo, and Miss Sing Six continues the trail with 3/8 remaining. On the front end, it's still Stage Trick. Marina's now a closer second. Mindy Sue trying to move up on the far outside. Also right there, it's Tap Tam. Dropping back now, Platinum. Miss Sing Six begins a rally from the back. She's picking them off one by one. Here comes Miss Sing Six with a big move. The 6 in 111 4/4 to go. Stage Trick still trying to fend off Marina. Miss Sing Six on the far outside as they turn for home 3 with a shot. Stage Trick is doggedly holding on. Marina on the outside, Miss Sing Six. Marina by a neck. Miss Sing Six trying to run her down. Stage Trick gamely on the inside. It's Marina and Jeremy Rose. Miss Sing Six and Valdivia. Marina and Miss Sing Six trying to run her down. Miss Sing Six and Marina right down to the wire. Miss Sing Six gets up. Marina game second. Stage Trick followed by Mismatch.
Missing Six picks up the win after a third last time out in the 60 sails. Behind Life at 10, she scores By a Neck as the favorite over Morena in from Churchill Downs, with Stage Trick back in third after setting the pace. Missing Six is a chestnut mare, a daughter of Singspiel from What a Miss by Miswaukee. Bred in Ireland by John O'Connor and owned by Team Valor International, trained by Marty Wolfson and ridden to victory by Jose Valdivia Jr. Missing Six covers the mile and a furlong in 150.87. We'll stay in the Mid-Atlantic, head to Philadelphia Park. 3-year-old fillies sprinting on Saturday in the Jostle.
The field for the Jostle Stakes. They're in the gate, and they're off. And Worship the Moon is away well from the outside. Brilliant Sunshine shows speed. And the Spitestown filly, Simply Spiteful, is right there on the inside. Belle of the Hall now comes up on the outside to join the leaders. They head down the back stretch. It's Brilliant Sunshine by a neck. Belle of the Hall is right with her second. Worship the Moon just off the top two. She's on the outside third. Simply Spiteful drafting in behind the leader. She looks to have some run. She's sitting fourth by a length. Vindy City is fifth on the outside. And Derwin Star covered up at the inside. She's sixth and last. Only 3 lengths behind as a well-grouped field heads to the far turn. They're in pursuit of Brilliant Sunshine. Brilliant Sunshine, 3 furlongs out. Now opens up a length and a half. Belle of the Hall is traveling comfortably. She's on the outside second by a length and a half. Worship the Moon has been 3 wide throughout. She is now beginning to come under a ride third. Derwin Star is going well. She's on the inside fourth. Still no running room for Simply Spiteful. Vindy City has dropped back sixth on the outside. Brilliant Sunshine comes down to the final furlong, a short lead, but Belle of the Hall kicks loose with her run, and Belle of the Hall is rallied to take the lead. Derwin Star takes aim on the outside. Derwin Star, a late run. Belle of the Hall has the lead. Derwin Star, late surge. Belle of the Hall, Derwin Star. It's Belle of the Hall. Belle of the Hall wins it 3/4 of a length. Derwin Star was second. Worship the Moon was third.
Belle of the Hall runs her record to 3 for 3, unbeaten filly off of a New York allowance win last time out, scores by 3/4 of a length over the late-moving Derwin Star at 13-1. Another long shot, Worship the Moon. Both of those long shots that ran second and third in from Presque Isle, both of them finishing fairly strongly. Belle of the Hall is a chestnut daughter of Graham Hall from Vines of Justice by Judge T.C. Bred in Florida by Leon Edward and Doolittle Farm Limited, and owned by the West Point Thoroughbreds, trained by Tom Albertrani, ridden to victory by Ramon Dominguez. Belle of the Hall covers the 6.5 in 115.44. We will head next to Presque Isle for a pair of midweek stakes from last week. We'll start on Tuesday evening with fillies and mares sprinting on the synthetic in the satin and lace.
They're off. My New Lady broke well from the outside. Between horses, What Time It Is. Also, Grand Intentions down along the inside. Avi's Destiny and Silver Time. Now, Silver Time is going to sort it out. Takes a length. Avi's Destiny along in second on the rail. Outside, What Time It Is. Between horses, that's Grand Intentions. We got a gap of 3 back to Who, Why. My New Lady. Up the inside, that's Mommy Whiz. And the trailer is Proud Heiress. Around the turn they go, though, and it's still Avi's Destiny with the lead. 22-1 is the quarter. Avi's Destiny, Silver Time, What Time It Is. Grand Intentions gets weaker along the rail. Proud Heiress starts her run, as does Mommy Whiz. At the top of the stretch, though, it's still Avi's Destiny with the lead. What Time It Is going well. Mommy Whiz between horses. Proud Heiress is running real well on the far outside. It's Avi's Destiny. Proud Heiress trying to get to her. Avi's Destiny, Proud Heiress, Mommy Whiz. Avi's Destiny wins it. Proud Heiress gets second. Mommy Whiz third. Close for fourth.
Avi's Destiny picks up the victory, a horse who was 6th last time out to West Ocean at Keeneland in her 2010 debut, makes her synthetic debut a winning one. This has been a very consistent New York turf sprinter who now has expanded her horizons onto the synthetic. She scores over Proud Heiress with Mommy Whiz back in the third spot. Avi's Destiny is a chestnut mare, a daughter of Rizzy from Love Destiny by Silver Deputy, bred in New York by Says Who Thoroughbreds and owned by Everything's Cricket Racing, trained by Linda Rice and ridden to victory by Harry Vega. Avi's Destiny covers the 5.5 furlongs in 103.97. Back to sprinting on the synthetic on Wednesday night, the Carl Boys Memorial Northwestern Pennsylvania Stakes.
They're off and racing. Gold Czar, quickest of all, sneaking upon you between horses. Country Day, then between horses Agastache, down along the inside Teenage Distress. Ravallo and Heart of a King is the trailer as they make their way up the backstretch. It's Gold Czar and Teenage Distress. These two are together. Then Country Day and Sneaking Upon You travel in a pair. Another group is Agastache and Ravallo, and the trailer is Heart of a King. They're well bunched as they go around the turn. Gold Czar's going to lead the way by ahead the first quarter, 22-1. Now Gold Czar leads it by half a length. Teenage Distress in second. Country Day gets involved. Ravallo still about 4 wide and Sneaking Upon You. At the top of the stretch, though, it's still Gold Czar with the lead. Country Day now challenges. Ravallo is 4 wide. Sneaking Upon You is going to try to come up the rail. Country Day now has the lead. Sneaking Upon You coming up the rail. Agastache between horses and Ravallo, Heart of a King, but it's still Country Day who digs in. Sneaking Upon You on the rail. Country Day wins it. Sneaking Upon You gets second. Ravallo third, close for fourth.
Country Day gets the victory. Last time out, he was up the track behind Attaboy Roy in the Churchill Downs Handicap. Won the Hot Springs earlier this year and scores the win over Sneaking Up On You with the favored Ravallo back in third. Country Day is a 4-year-old bay son of Speightstown from Hidden Assets by Mount Livermore. Bred in Kentucky by Bert, Elaine, and Richard Klein, owned by the breeders and trained by Steve Margolis, ridden to victory by Brian Hernandez Jr., Country Day covers the 5.5 at 102.58. We'll pause for a brief message. When we return, we'll be heading to Monmouth Park for continued stakes racing action. Please stay with us. Back to Horses and Courses. We'll continue now at Monmouth Park with a trio of stakes races over the weekend. We'll head back to Saturday, older horses in the skip-away.
Steps in, and they're all in line. They're racing in the skip-away. Cool Coleman goes right out to the front. There goes Mighty Morris sent along outside of him, and he's going to go take over with Sir Whimsy third on the inside, and Gone Astray is fourth early. Bull's Bay is the trailer. Mighty Morris and David Cohen to the front as they move for the first turn. Cool Coleman taken off the rail, and he's 3/4 of a length off the front runner. Then it's Sir Whimsy third down on the inside. Gone Astray is next, and Bull's Bay is in between horses trailing the field, 3 off the lead as Mighty Morris leads the way through a quarter in an easy 25-2. Mighty Morris a neck in front. Cool Coleman second to the outside. Gone Astray is in third outside of a hard-held Sir Whimsy down at the rail. Bull's Bay is last of this compact field that's going slowly up the backstretch. He's only 2.5 lengths behind as the gray Mighty Morris continues to lead them through a half mile in 50 2/5 seconds. Cool Coleman is still a neck back as the field enters the far turn. Gone Astray is third on the outside. Sir Whimsy along the rail. Bulls Bay is trailed throughout with no pace in front of him. Around the far turn, Cool Coleman, Gone Astray under a heavy ride, now moves up alongside. Mighty Morris is given way at the rail. Sir Whimsy is next, and Bulls Bay. 3/4 went in 1:14 and they're into the stretch. And it's Cool Coleman down to the 8th pole in front. One off the rails. Sir Whimsy's running a big one. He's now second, and then comes Gone Astray in third, but it's Cool Coleman. Cool Coleman with a 2-length lead on Sir Whimsy. And Cool Coleman and Elvis Trujillo win the skip away by 3. Sir Whimsy was second, Gone Astray was third, then Bulls Bay.
Cool Coleman gets the job done. He's kind of an in and outer, but when he's good, he's really very sharp. Here he wins by 2 lengths over Sir Whimsy, with Gone Astray back in the 3rd spot. The winner, Cool Coleman, who has done very well over the course of his career at Monmouth Park, is a 5-year-old son of Mineshaft from Coral Sea by Rubiano. Bred in Kentucky by William S. Farish, E.J. Hudson Jr. Irrevocable Trust et al., owned by Bob LaPenta and ridden to victory by Nick Zito. Ridden to victory by Elvis Trujillo. Of course, he's trained by Nick Zito. Cool Coleman covers the mile in a 16th at Monmouth in 1:43.89. We will head right back to Monmouth Park now on Saturday afternoon. They ran the Monmouth Stakes for older horses on the grass.
They're racing in the Monmouth Stakes. Precious Passion started well. Get Serious is away running in second, and Pleasant Strike is out third. Then Roman Tiger on the far outside, Alcali, Belletti along the rail, Blue Street, Forgotten Dynasty, and Dynamore. And Get Serious will go after Precious Passion early. These two, as expected, are 1-2, and they're 5 lengths ahead of the rest. Precious Passion on the outside, Get Serious at the rail. The pace not all that fast, 24-1 the opening quarter, but they'll quicken as they've got a 7-length lead on everyone else, and now they're really opening up. Get Serious and Precious Passion, and they're taking it to each other early. They've got an 8-length early lead here. Pleasant Strike is next in third. Alcali alongside fourth, a length and a half back. Then comes Roman Tiger. Belletti is after that. Blue Street to the outside. Forgotten Dynasty and Dynamore in the back. Onto the backstretch, 47 3.5. And Get Serious and Pablo Fragoso take the initiative, and Precious Passion and Elvis Trujillo take back. They're almost 2 lengths behind now up the backstretch run. It's 3 lengths back to Alcali in third. Pleasant Strike fourth and down on the inside. And then it's Belletti in between horses. And being sent along is Roman Tiger, who splits rivals. On the far outside, Blue Street, Forgotten Dynasty, and Dynamore. 3/4 in 1:11.2. Around the far turn, it is Get Serious in front. Precious Passion is 2.5 lengths behind, and he's lost second here. He's dropping back. Precious Passion has dropped back. They're into the stretch. Get Serious in front. Roman Tiger off the rail and charging. It's Get Serious in front. Roman Tiger on the far outside. Dynamore is closing late. Get Serious and Roman Tiger 1-2. Get Serious is going to do it. Get Serious in the Monmouth Stakes to Roman Tiger. Dynamore was third, and then Alcali. Number 1, Get Serious.
Get Serious pulls off a bit of an upset in this spot, and I thought this was a very enterprising race by a quick horse. Got into the race very early, took it to Precious Passion, and was able to put him away. Still had plenty left to win by a length and a quarter over the late-moving long-shot Roman Tiger, with Dynamore in from a very nice performance in his stakes debut at Belmont, rallying to third. Get Serious, very underrated state bred. He's 8 for 10 on the Monmouth turf. 5 of his last 6 races have been victories. He is a 6-year-old chestnut gelding, a son of City Zip from Java Gal by Java Gold. Bred in New York by Morgan's Ford Farm, owned by James Dinnan, Jacques Moore, Phantom House Farm et al., trained by John Forbes and ridden to victory by Pablo Fregoso. Get Serious covers the 9 furlongs in 147.11. We'll head into Sunday's card at Monmouth Park now. Fillies and mares sprinting on the turf in the Candy Eclair.
They're racing in the Candy Eclair. There goes Starfish Bay right out to the front. Candy Cane away running in second. Quebrada Shiner came out third. Then it's Shimmering Tina, Life Lesson between horses, followed by Girlfriend on the side on the outside. They're being followed by Cosmos Bunny, Sandy's Ready, Mother Russia is down at the fence, and then comes Ivory Empress, Caracorm Electra, and last of all, Forest Trail taken well off the pace here as the field makes their way into the far turn. It's Starfish Bay, and John Velasquez opening up a 2-length lead. Candy Cane is in second, Shimmering Tina third to the inside, then Quebrada Shiner. Life Lesson is back there about 5 lengths off the lead, and then Girlfriend on the side, they're into the stretch. Starfish Bay under a hand ride, leads by 2.5 to Candy Cane, then Quebrada Shiner. Life Lesson on the outside, but it's Starfish Bay. Starfish Bay just too good for these. Starfish Bay runs off impressively in the Candy Eclair. Candy Cane was second, and then came Quebrada Shiner and Mother Russia.
Starfish Bay setting a new course record in the process of picking up this victory. A very impressive filly when she is kept to the sprint game on the turf, in off a really nice performance down at Pimlico. She scores over Candy Cane with Quebrada Shiner back off of the layoff on race since last November, settling for third at a big price. Starfish Bay is a 4-year-old daughter of elusive quality from Touch Love by Not for Love. Bred in Kentucky by Gainesway Thoroughbreds and owned by Gainesway Stable, trained by Todd Fletcher, ridden to victory by John Velasquez. Starfish Bay covers the 5.5 on the turf in a new course record time, 1:76. We'll continue with stakes racing action now with Churchill Downs, a very busy weekend of stakes racing at Churchill. Most certainly we'll start things out with fillies and mares in the Fleur de Lis.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the Fleur de Lis. Made for Magic, just a little awkward, gave a nudge to Multipass to the inside. Jessica is back, is sent to the lead by Garrett Gomez. Rachel Alexandra now moves to her outside, racing in second. Distinctive Dixie in third, around the clubhouse turn. Made for Magic's racing in fourth. Multipass at the back of the field, and just outside the 7/8, Calvin Burrell has now taken Rachel Alexandra to engage. Jessica is back, and now Rachel Alexandra has just put her nose in front. Jessica is back, now kicks back to the inside rail. 23-4 for the opening quarter mile. Distinctive Dixie is racing in third, a break then of nearly 4 lengths now to Made for Magic, a further 2 lengths to Multipass as they go towards halfway in the 36th running of the Fleur de Lis. Jessica is back, a contested lead through a half mile of 47-1. On her outside, Rachel Alexandra inside the final half mile they go. 2 lengths away, Distinctive Dixie now ridden along. Made for Magic outrun at the back of the field. Multipass 3/8 from the wire. Calvin Burrell takes a quick look over his right shoulder. He sees Distinctive Dixie now looming up to try and take second as Jessica is back, drops to third, but it's Rachel Alexandra at the top of the lane, and she leads now by a length and a half. Distinctive Dixie is in second. Jessica is back in third, but Rachel Alexandra is sticking her tongue out at her rivals, and she's coming now clear by 6 lengths, a 16th from the wire. She's right, royal and regal, the queen of Churchill Downs. Rachel is back. Rachel Alexandra to in second, Distinctive Dixie in third. Jessica is back, followed by Multipass and Made for Magic.
It's nice to see Rachel Alexandra back in the winner's circle. Calvin Burrell back in the irons. She sat that usual stalking trip that we were so familiar with last year and was able to pounce this time. Unlike her previous 2 starts this season, she really was able to put away horses at the top of the stretch, kicking clear as distinctive Dixie rallies to second. Jessica is back, completes the order of the top 3. Rachel Alexandra is a 4-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Medaglia d'Oro from Lotta Kim by Roar. Bred in Kentucky by Dolphus C. Morrison, owned by Stone Street Stable and Harold McCormick, trained by Steve Asmussen and ridden victory by Calvin Burrell. Rachel Alexandra covers the 9 furlongs in 148.78. We'll head right back to Churchill Downs now. 3-year-olds on the turf in the Jefferson Cup.
Stepping up. 3-year-olds in the gate. And they're off in the Jefferson Cup. Very even beginning. Lost Aptitude towards the outside. Formula Success towards the hedge. These the first 2. Beneath the Twin Spires, a circuit ahead of them. Lost Aptitude has got the lead. Formula for Success is racing in second. Don't Tell Kitten in third. Asphalt racing freely to the hedge, racing in fourth. Psychic Income is in fifth. Scott Keith's Kitten is in sixth. Guy's Reward in seventh around the clubhouse turn. Our Douglas, as is his wont, is held up for a late dash. At the back of the field, Gleam of Hope, first quarter 24-3. Down the back stretch they go. Lost Aptitude and Garrett Gomez, an easy lead now of nearly 2 lengths. Formula for Success racing in second. Don't Tell Kitten is in third. Asphalt has raced choke out so far, racing in fourth. Psychic Income to the outside is in fifth. Scott Keith's Kitten is in sixth. Guy's Reward is in seventh. Our Douglas is in eighth. Gleam of Hope is still last. 50 seconds flat for the half mile. Less than a half mile ahead of them now. Formula for Success moves to the outside of Lost Aptitude into the far turn. Lost Aptitude now by a contested head, and now to the outside. Formula Success takes him. Now going a little wider is Asphalt. Here comes Psychic Income round the outside. Guy's Reward. Our Douglas is poised to pounce. He's going to try and get a seam to the outside as they come down the lane. It's Asphalt who now has the lead over Psychic Income. Here's Gleam of Hope towards the outside. Lost Aptitude flattens out. Our Douglas is yet to fire. Inside the final 16th, Gleam of Hope has now taken the lead. Psychic Income is charging home. Here comes the line. Gleam of Hope wins the Jefferson Cup over Psychic Income, Asphalt, and Our Douglas next.
Gleam of Hope picking up the victory. The bit of a long shot here at 9-1 over 25-1 shot Psychic Income with Asphalt back in the 3rd spot. Gleam of Hope finished 3rd last time out in the Arlington Classic at Arlington Park in towards the end of last month and seems to be improving. And he's actually a fairly experienced horse. He's raced about 11 times now, but does seem to have a little bit of improvement left in him and getting a little stronger with each performance. Gleam of Hope, a chestnut 3-year-old son of City Zip from Victoria's Vice by Vice Regent, bred in Kentucky by Dr. and Mrs. A.C. Asbury and owned by the breeders, trained by Tony Reinstedler and ridden to victory by E.T. Baird. Gleam of Hope covers the mile in the 16th in 145.61. We'll head back to Churchill Downs, and next up it is 3-year-olds in the Northern Dancer.
Moves forward again now. The others stand well. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Northern Dancer, taken back Kreider in the early stages. Colisio is sent for the early lead, Worldly to his inside, racing in second, but it is Colisio who has got the lead around the clubhouse turn. Worldly is in second, Vow to Wager is in third, Kreider now racing in fourth, as Worldly there just veered out into the 2-path as they took the turn at the 7/8, and Colisio had the lead, and now Worldly tries to re-engage towards the outside, having been switched off heels. Vow to Wager is now 2 lengths away in third. Kreider is in fourth. Max Silverhammer is in fifth. Prince Will.i.am is last of the 6. 24-4 the opening quarter mile. 5 furlongs ahead of them, and it's Colisio now by 2 lengths. Worldly's racing in second. 1.5 lengths Vow to Wager in third. Kreider's racing in fourth. Max Silverhammer and Prince Will.i.am 49 seconds flat was the half mile. Inside the final half mile they go. Colisio go. And Garrett Gomez inside the final 3.5 furlongs of the 13th Northern Dancer. Here comes Worldly now, engaging to the outside. Vow to Wager a length and a half away, racing in third. Kreider is in fourth. Max Silverhammer is in fifth. Prince Will.i.am still yet to pass a rival. A quarter of a mile to go. Colisio against the rail tries to hang tough. Worldly, though, has now moved alongside. Colisio, though, is battling back gamely against the rail. Colisio and Worldly, these two slugging it out down towards the final 16th. Colisio, Worldly, both want it bad. Colisio on the inside, gamely rallies to win. Colisio was all heart to take the 13th running of the Northern Dancer. Worldly went down with all guns blazing. Vow to Wager was third.
Making his stakes debut, a winning one, is Colisio, who goes to the front, never looks back, and has enough left to hold on over Worldly, who had beaten him last year at Churchill Downs. Vow to Wager completes the order of the top three, and it's worth noting that the top three did run around the racetrack in that order. Colisio is a dark bay or brown son of distorted humor from Colony Band by Dixieland Band. Bred in Kentucky by Wertheimer and Frere and owned by the breeders. Trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden to victory by Garrett Gomez. Colisio covers the mile in the 16th at Churchill in 143.60. We'll head back to the Churchill turf now. 3-year-old fillies in action in the Regret.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the Regret. Towards the inside, Caminadora and La Gran Bailadora had a coming together. Both lost ground, dropped out the back of the field. Snowtop Mountain. To the inside, Go Ask Alex has got the early lead. Queen of the Creek is taking a vicious hold down the centre of the track, and she's pulling her way through under Jose Lascano now to share the lead with Go Ask Alex. A break of 2 lengths. Dinah Zappa's racing in third. Jody Slew is in fourth. It's Tea Time in fifth. Abinus in sixth. To the inside, Joe Harmony is racing in 7th. Beautician is in 8th. To the inside, La Gran Bailadora is in 9th. To the outside, Queen Hazel is racing in 10th. In 11th is Snowtop Mountain as they head down the backstretch. Caminadora out the back of the field as they head down the backstretch. 24 seconds the opening quarter mile. And out in front, Go Ask Alex is clear now by 5 lengths. Dinah Zappa to the outside of Queen of the Creek, who's been ranked through the first half of the race. To the outside, Jody Slew's racing in 4th. It's Tea Time in 5th. Beautician 6th. Abinus 7th. Queen Hazel in 8th round the outside of Joe Harmony. 48-1 was the half mile. Caminadora still at the back of the field as they go into the far turn. Go Ask Alex leads the way. Dinah Zappa is now taking dead aim in second. Queen of the Creek begins to back away. Staying on, it's Tea Time, but hard driven to the outside. Here comes Queen Hazel together with Jody Slew. Dinah Zappa at the top of the lane has taken the lead. Dinah Zappa has now gone clear by 2 lengths, but the cavalry are coming. Here on the outside, Caminadora, Queen Hazel, Beautician to the inside, but it's now Caminadora and Corrie Nakatani. Snowtop Mountain from the back of the pack. Caminadora is out in front. Caminadora wins. In second, Snowtop Mountain. Queen Hazel in third, tight 4. It's Tea Time, Beautician, and between them, Dinah Zappa.
Caminadora gets the front end in the final stages and scores by 3/4 of a length from last to first. Also rallying from second last to second was Snowtop Mountain. So obviously rallying horses did very well in spite a relatively modest early pace up front. Horses coming from off the pace, kicking very nicely. As a matter of fact, top 3 finishers were 9th, 10th and 11th in the earliest stages. So obviously it was a race that favored horses rallying, and the long shot winner at 66-1 was Caminadora, off of an allowance 3rd place finish last time out right here at Churchill Downs, in which she was actually behind Snowtop Mountain at the finish. She turns the tables on that rival to score by 3/4. Caminadora is a chestnut 3-year-old daughter of More Than Ready from Stoneway by Storm Boot. Bred in Kentucky by Stoneway Farm and owned by the Starlight Partners. Trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden to victory by Corrie Nakatani, Caminadora covers the mile and a furlong in 152.04. Next up, older horses at 9 furlongs in the Grade 1 Stephen Foster.
to move forward. The winners of 61 races between them in the gate. And they're off in the Stephen Foster Handicap. In the centre, General Quarters, together with Duke of Mischief, and on the inside is Battle Plan, followed on the outside by Honest Man, tightly grouped as they go to the clubhouse turn. Battle Plan has the lead, General Quarters racing in second, Honest Man is now in third. On the inside, Duke of Mischief is racing in fourth, Blame to the outside and a share of fifth, with Arson Squad in sixth. To the inside, Giant Oaks racing in seventh, then No Advantage to the outside in eighth. Demarcation is in ninth. Unhurried last but one is Macho again. AU Minor sees them all. 24 and 2 the opening quarter mile in the 29th running of the Stephen Foster, and it is Battle Plan and Javier Castellano who lead. To the outside, General Quarters, Alex Solis racing in second. On the inside, Duke of Mischief in third, Honest Man in fourth, Blame in fifth, Arson Squad is in sixth, No Advantage in seventh. To the inside, Giant Oak is in eighth with half a mile to come. Demarcation is in ninth. Macho again, last but one. AU Minor still wags the tail, making the turn. 3/8 to go in the Stephen Foster. Battle Plan has the lead now by a length. General Quarters in second. To the outside, Honest Man is now in third. Duke of Mischief, Blame comes under a ride. Arson Squad, Macho again is forced very wide, followed by Demarcation. Battle Plan down towards the final 3/16. Battle Plan has gone clear now by 3 lengths. In second is General Quarters. Here now chasing from out of the pack is Blame. It is Battle Plan out in front. Blame though is flashing home on the outside. Here comes Blame. Blame is going to take the Grade 1 Stephen Foster. Blame wins the Stephen Foster. Battle Plan in second. General Quarters in third. Giant Oak and Demarcation next.
Blame gets the victory. His first start of the year was not quite what I had expected, but it was a nice performance, and here he gets a very big effort, 3/4 of a length, the better of Battle Plan. I really thought that this horse looked like, Battle Plan looked like he might be able to shake clear, but Blame has really developed into a very nice racehorse. We saw him kind of come to hand last year during the Saratoga racing season, and here he puts it all together, earning his first Grade 1 over Battle Plan, with General Quarters coming in off of a very impressive performance last time out on the turf. Here gets back onto the main track in Grade 1 company and stamps as his credentials, running a very solid and creditable third. The winner, Blame, is a 4-year-old son of Arch from Liable by Seeking the Gold, bred in Kentucky by Claiborne Farm and Adele Dill Schneider, owned by the breeders and trained by Al Stahl Jr., ridden to victory by Garrett Gomez. Blame covers the 9 furlongs in 149.37. We'll pause for one more brief message. When we return, we'll be heading to Woodbine for stakes racing action, as well as California and back in New York. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We'll continue now at Woodbine with a pair of stakes races on Sunday, kicking things off 3-year-old Canadian breds in the plate trial.
They're at the post.
They're off in the Plate Trial Stakes. Mobilizer between horses, along with Big Red Mike, who comes on and takes the lead, and Pizarro takes a hold of Hollinger as they move in front of us for the first time. And it's Big Red Mike. Hollinger is keen on the outside in second, and Mob the Warrior is third. Mobilizer is tucked in behind horses in fourth position. Dees Wando's up close early in fifth. Then we have Giant's Tomb and a Ghost Fleet, and Captain Canuck is the early trailer. 24-3 for that opening quarter. And it's Big Red Mike isolated on the lead. Big Red Mike by a length. Hollinger inches up ever closer now, glued to the flank of Big Red Mike as they enter the backstretch. Mob the Warriors out there 3 wide. Giant's Tomb, the Chestnut, moves within 2 lengths of the lead. Tucked in nicely behind horses is Mobilizer. Dees Wando shuffled to 6 now, has 4 to come. Then Ghost Fleet, Captain Canuck. 49-3 for that opening half mile. Less than a half mile remaining. Big Red Mike and Eurico Rosa da Silva. They continue to be hounded by Hollinger as they run into the turn. Mob the Warriors getting a little nudge out there 3 wide. Mobilizer travels well in behind horses. Giant's Tomb is under a ride now with just under 2.5 furlongs to go. And they ran 3/4 in 1:13-2. Big Red Mike, and there's the hole for Mobilizer, and he comes on through for Jono Jones, and it's Mobilizer on the inside, and Big Red Mike on the outside, and those two in a battle of wills at the 8th pole. Giant's Tomb on the far outside. Hollinger has faded. Big Red Mike running out of his skin. On the inside is Mobilizer. Then back to Mob the Warrior. Big Red Mike does it. He wins the Plate Trial Stakes over Mobilizer and Mob the Warrior. Giant's Tomb was 4th.
Big Red Mike pulling off a bit of an upset in this spot, scoring by half a length over Mobilizer, with Mob the Warrior back in the 3rd spot in one of the more significant prep-up races for of course, the Queen's Plate to be run in the early part of July. Big Red Mike is a chestnut gelding, a son of 10 pins from Regent and Flashy by Vice Regent. Bred in Ontario by Terra Farms and owned by Terra Racing Stable, trained by Nick Gonzalez and ridden to victory by Eurico da Silva. Big Red Mike covers the 9 in 150.41. We'll head right back up to Canada now and the Woodbine Oaks for 3-year-old fillies.
They're at the post. They're off in the Woodbine Oaks. Resentless broke sharply, as did Ember's Song. And it's Ember's Song to take the lead as they move in front of us for the first time. And Sutherland moves Resentless to the outside of Ember's Song. And Gomez is fighting with the filly. And it's Ember's Song. She wants to run on. Resentless is just off her flank in second. And T-Game sits off the pace in third. Oil Painting is 3 wide at the 7/8 pole. Isabeau's Elegance saves ground to the 3/4 pole. Then we have Roan Inish, followed by Moment of Majesty, and Earnfold is the early trailer. And it's Ember's Song. Garrett Gomez has gotten her to calm down on the front end. Resentless in a perfect stalking position in second. T-Game is a third, and Oil Painting is 4th. The opening quarter was 23-4, and the half in 47-4. And it's Ember's Song along this Woodbine backstretch. Resentless is breathing down her throat in second. T-Game to the inside in 3rd position. Isabeau's Elegance has saved every inch of ground. Roan Inish is drafting in behind fillies. Oil Painting's out there about 4 wide and just 2 lengths off the lead. And Earnfold begins her charge toward the leaders, and Moment of Majesty is making a bid. A tight group of 3-year-old fillies with a 1/4 mile to go in the Woodbine Oaks. And it's Ember's Song who's called on for more, run by Garrett Gomez. Ember's Song is open to 2.5. Roan Inish. Resentless has faded. Moment of Majesty is coming hard for Robert Landry down the center of the racetrack. Here comes Moment of Majesty. Roan Inish between horses. Down to the inside, Ember's Song. What a finish! This is going to be close. Roan Inish on the inside. Roan Inish and David Moran to win the Woodbine Oaks over Moment of Majesty and Ember's Song. Oil Painting was 4th.
Rowan Inish covering the distance here in fairly impressive fashion. I like the way this horse made a solid bid, kind of coming between horses in the late stages. A very nice performance over Moment of Majesty with Ember's Song back in third as the favorite. The winner, Rowan Inish, is a dark Bear Brown 3-year-old daughter of elusive quality from Inish Glora by Regal Classic. Bred in Ontario by Robert J. Costigan and owned by the breeder. Trained by Carolyn Costigan and ridden to victory by David Moran, Rowan Inish covers the 9 furlongs in 150.53. We'll head out to the West Coast for older horses on both Saturday and Sunday. Beginning things on Saturday, it was 3 and up, going the 9 furlongs in the Grade 2 Californian.
They're at the post. They're off. One Track Mind right to the front. Slews Tis Now is asked for speed today. He is second. Rail Trip away third. Sangaree and a 3-wide Tres Barachos. Then Cigar Man and H.O. and the early trailer is Spurrier. It is One Track Mind at the clubhouse turn. Rail Trip has moved up into second and will track the front runner. The favorite Rail Trip perfectly placed to the backstretch. He's a length and a quarter off the lead. Then Slews Tis Now, who backs off at the rail. Tres Barachos is 3 deep in the white cap and 2 from the front. Sangaree is just in behind that threesome. He is 5th with 4 lengths to make up. H.O. and Cigar Man are 5 lengths behind, and the trailer is Spurrier as they run up the backstretch in the 57th Californian, and One Track Mind is the uncontested leader, but his menacing shadow to the outside is Rail Trip. Rail Trip is now within a neck of the front-running One Track Mind. Tres Barachos is 3rd. He's less than a length from the front. Slews Tis Now at the rail 4th. He's 2 lengths off the lead, just inside of Sangaree. Cigar Man in the white blinkers has 4 lengths to make up. H.O. ridden along by Mike Smith. He's 5 lengths behind. Spurrier would have to pass them all, and they leave the backstretch. One Track Mind and Rail Trip. These two 1-2. Run Track Mind is half ahead in front. Rail Trip is on the attack. These two are 2 lengths clear of Sangaree and Slews Tis Now. Tres Barachos backs out, passed by Cigar Man, then Spurrier. H.O. not today to the top of the stretch. A new leader is named Rail Trip, and he takes charge. Here's Rail Trip, now suddenly 2 in front. Sangaree, no more for One Track Mind. Slews Tis Now, and Rail Trip to the final 16th is straight and strong, and he's opening up a 5-length lead. Sangaree is second, Slews Tis Now third. Here's a trip to the Gold Cup. Rail Trip, yes. He won by 2.5, could have been twice that. Sangaree second, Slews Tis Now third, and Spurrier finished 4th.
Off a win last out in the Mervyn Leroy, Rail Trip moves forward and really, I thought, powered away strongly through the stretch to win going away 2 3/4 of a length over Sangaree with Slews Tis Now, improving his recent form at 40-1 to complete the top 3. Rail Trip now heads into the Hollywood Gold Cup, is certainly one of the leaders of the West Coast Division. He is a bay 5-year-old gelded son of Jumpstart from Sweet Trip by Carson City. Bred in Kentucky by Denara Thoroughbreds Limited and owned by JMS Stable, trained by Ron Ellis and ridden to victory by Rafael Bejarano, Rail Trip covers the 9 at 148.49. Sunday afternoon, of course, the Grade 1 Vanity featuring none other than Zenyatta looking to run a record to 17 for 17. Let's head back to Hollywood and Sunday's Vanity.
They're at the post. They're off. Willow Way wins the break and goes for the front. Miss Silverbrook is very hard sent through from the inside. Cherry Blossom Miss just ran up into second. Zardana is away 4th. St. Trinian's breaks 5th, and Zenyatta's at the back of the pack early. Right now she's about 10 lengths behind, dueling front runners to the backstretch, and they're setting a good, solid pace. It is Miss Silverbrook and Cherry Blossom Miss 1-2. Miss Silverbrook wanted that lead, and she's a neck in front. Cherry Blossom Miss is second from a tugging Zardana. Zardana races in third, and she turns into the backstretch 3.5 lengths off the lead. Will O'Way is 4th. She's got 6 lengths to make up. St. Trinian's is tugging at Martine Garcia, 8 lengths behind and 3.5 in front of Zenyatta, who is 12 lengths behind as they head up the backstretch in the Vanity Handicap. Miss Silverbrook and Cherry Blossom Miss are setting it up for the Queen if she's good enough today. They go past the half-mile pole and they duel. Miss Silverbrook and Cherry Blossom Miss are 6 lengths in front of Zardana. Now St. Trinian's is 7 from the front, and she's only 2.5 in front of Zenyatta, who's still last. Willow Way is 5th at the rail, 3 furlongs to run in the Vanity. Miss Silverbrook and Cherry Blossom Miss. St. Trinian's making her move. She's outside of Zardana. Zardana's 1.5 lengths from the front. St. Trinian's is going to be 4 wide. Meanwhile, Mike Smith is watching it all unfold, and Zenyatta is only 2 lengths behind, and she is after St. Trinian's, who comes calling for the lead. Zardana just in front. St. Trinian's has now taken the lead. She's 1.5 lengths in front of Zenyatta, coming to the 16th pole. St. Trinian's all out. Zenyatta trying to run her down on the money. St. Trinian's still a neck in front. Here's Zenyatta. Yes! Stamp this day in your minds and hearts. The Queen continues her legend, 17 in a row.
Zenyatta got there, but she kind of made it look difficult, and in a race that appeared to be paceless, it most certainly did appear to be one of her more difficult challenges. Miss Silverbrook took the lead in the early stages, was kind of able to loaf along a little bit, and it was really only in that final 16th of a mile that Zenyatta stretched out, reached down deep, and was able to rally past St. Trinian's, who ran, I think, a very game race in defeat with Zardana, the conqueror of Rachel Alexandra earlier in the season, completing the order of the top 3. Of course, now Zenyatta is 17 for 17. She has a perfect race record. Obviously, just one of the greats in the game. Certainly one of the most exciting horses currently in training. And what more can you say? She has been absolutely perfect, given her backers a little bit of stress on a couple of occasions, including one race last year where she just got up in the shadow of the wire. Here she wins by about a 1/2 length in impressive fashion. Zenyatta, an always impressive 6-year-old dark Bear brown mare, a daughter of Street Cry from Vertigineux by Chris S., bred in Kentucky by Maverick Production Limited, owned by Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Moss, and trained by John Sheriffs, ridden to victory as usual by Mike Smith. Zenyatta covers the 9 in 149.01. We'll head back to New York now for a pair of stakes races starting at Finger Lakes with the Susan B. Anthony for fillies and mares.
We're ready for the Susan B. Anthony. And there they go. And out for the lead is Bob's Dillon, covering Seasons Wise. She's got the Fevers up close along with Smokin' Pistol and Gold for the Queen. Sweet Lorena comes away in the 6th spot along with our Betty Grable. Following them is Sweet Prime, and Motor City Mama is towards the tail. Now Gold for the Queen picks up the pace. Bob's Dillon won't go away. They are together as one. 3 pursuers. Seasons Wise from the inside. Smokin' Pistol from between gals, and she's got the Fever to the far outside. Big break of at least 7 lengths to Sweet Lorena with our Betty Grable. They have a length on Motor City Mama, and it's another 2.5 to Sweet Prime. A sizzling opening quarter of 21 3, and Bob's Dillon has a narrow lead from Gold for the Queen, but they are right together. Bob's Dillon narrowly in front. Seasons Wise has worked off the rail, trying to become a player. She's got the Fever as 4th. Then we're going to our Betty Grable. Sweet Lorena needs to pick it up from the inside in the lane. Gold for the Queen gets away from Bob's Dillon. Seasons Wise is trying to go with her. It's Gold for the Queen on the lead along the inside. Gold for the Queen has the lead. Seasons Wise is chasing her. Our Betty Grable's 3rd. It's Gold for the Queen and Pedro Rodriguez to win the 31st running of the Susan B. Anthony Handicap. Seasons Wise was game in defeat.
Gold for the Queen gets the victory in nice fashion. This is a horse that had not run since finishing well in New York behind Weathered on the Aqueduct Inner back in January. She comes back fresh, and she scores over 17 to 1 shot Seasons Wise with the favorite Our Betty Grable completing the order of the top 3. Gold for the Queen is a bay filly, a daughter of Gold Token from Jan Down Queen by Wolf Power. Bred in New York by Pegasus Farm and owned by Francis Polangeli. Trained by Charlton Baker and ridden to victory by Pedro Rodriguez. Gold for the Queen covers the 6 in 109.89. We'll head back to Belmont Park now and the running on Saturday afternoon of the Grade 1 Ogden Phipps for fillies and mares.
And they're off. Little stumble right after the break there for Life at 10. Nonetheless, it's Life at 10 is racing for the lead, and Unrivaled Bell is right there with her. And it's Manitoba Miss is third on the outside. Funny Moon is out running fourth. And the early trailer is Pumpkin Shell. So down the backstretch run, it will be Life at 10 who leads, but Unrivaled Bell won't let her get away. She's just a length behind. It's a break of 3 back to Manitoba Miss, followed by Funny Moon, who's reserved. 6 lengths for the front runner here. Life at 10. His opening quarter, 23 1/5 second, escorted down the backstretch by favored Unrivaled Bell, is now right at her neck. Now it's a 6-length break back to Manitoba Miss. Funny Moon still conserved. Another 3 or 4 back to Pumpkin Shell. 5 furlongs to go. Life at 10, Unrivaled Bell is just glued to her as they hit the far turn. Life at 10, 3/4 of a length. Unrivaled Bell right there with her. They ran a half. 45 2/5 seconds. The pace is a strong one here. It's still Life at 10, Unrivaled Bell. There's still 1-2. 7 lengths back now, and Funny Moon starting to come alive. Funny Moon coming alive with 3 furlongs to go. Life at 10, Unrivaled Bell. They've been 1-2 that way all the way around the racetrack as Funny Moon draws in closer. They've run 3/4 and 1:08 2. It's been a demanding pace here for Life at 10 and Unrivaled Bell. Funny Moon trying to close in on them at the top of the stretch. Unrivaled Bell cannot get to Life at 10. Life at 10 has turned back Unrivaled Bell, but can she turn back Funny Moon? There's a 16th to go, and it's Life at 10 clear by 3. Unrivaled Bell and Funny Moon on the outside. They're coming down to the finish, and Life at 10 has won the Ogden Phipps in front-running style. Unrivaled Bell was able to manage second there. Funny Moon third.
Life at 10, she has now won 5 in a row, going back to a November allowance race on the Aqueduct main track. Her most recent win, the 60 Sales at Hawthorne in mid-April. She gets to the front, never looks back on a track that was very kind to front-end speed on Saturday afternoon. But Life at 10, very sharp through the lane, 2 3/4 the better of Unrivaled Bell. The other horse who earlier this year had also picked up a victory over none other than Rachel Alexandra. Funny Moon completes the order of the top 3. Life at 10 is a chestnut daughter of Malibu Moon from Rah Rah 6 Boom Ba by Rahi. Bred in Kentucky by Nickelback Farm and owned by Cynthia DeBartolo, trained by Todd Pletcher and ridden to victory by John Velasquez. Life at 10 covers the mile in a 16th and 140.72. That'll wrap up a very busy edition of Horses and Courses. Thank you for joining us. We hope you'll be able to join us again next week as we take a look at stakes racing action from around the country. Until then, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.